Hey fuckers. That's a compliment. Amelia Hart is hot. By the way, I don't look at this picture and masturbate to it all day long. In fact, I don't look at it at all. That's the whole point. The point is it's up there. She's gorgeous and she's celebrity and she's rich and she's young and she's essentially the epitome of whatever. I can tell you, dear user, as per the law of opposites, she's suffering. As much as you see the beauty of the world, the reality is very different. Hi, it's zAiDiBoy. Now, the fine art is cigar smoking. I keep telling people that they're stupid for smoking cigarettes. And you know what? It's like in Toronto. What do you think of this shit, man? Do I need more color in here? I've started putting color in my Empress fucking mobile. Empress, sorry, I'm so sorry about this. This is my... I'd like to call her girlfriend because she is my fucking friend. She's like one of my best friends. She's like one of the people that understands me the most in this world. And you know what? She knows I'd give my life for her in a fucking second, eh? Her phone number is actually hidden away in here. Anyway, fuck, man. This place is a mess, but not messy enough. I got 2 more weeks to turn this fucking joint into, like, basically a Andy fucking Warhol-esque type of thing. I'm trying to figure out, like, how to put you guys so I can do some more 3M, eh? Point of this video is not 3M. The point of this video, fuckers, is heartbreak, eh? I realized I got some more goods for you fucks, which is love. I got a lot to teach you. I'd started talking about some of these, some of these books on love, eh? Classic literature. The Suffering of Young Wormer by Goethe. When Goethe wrote The Suffering of Wormer, guys, I got it here somewhere. It doesn't matter. It's incredible. Guys were committing suicide left, right, and center. Yeah, the guy in the book, Goethe has this young character called Vermeer. And the whole book, it's just, the book is, to call it a masterpiece, you can't, like, if you said there's something like perfect music, this is what this book is the equivalent of. Like, I mean, I'm a Muslim, and for me, perfect is just the Quran, right? But this is what they say about fucking the sorrows of Wormer. The guy goes to a village and writes letters to his friend, and he's fallen in love with this lady, and she's really cool and everything, but she's, well, for whatever reason, she's marrying some other... Oh, fucking people aren't going to leave me alone, eh? Doesn't matter. I'm just going to put you guys... I'm gonna use my underwear. I'll use the underwear and kind of position you so that I can get my groove on, and you fuckers are like, you know, you can do what you like, basically. But I appreciate you tuning in. I mean, must realize, the thing is this, guys. Fuck, are you kidding me, guys? It's like there's 2 classes of people. 3 classes of people. People who don't click on my shit, which is obviously the majority, and it will always be that way, marketers. Remember that. And sales guys, if you can't suck it up and understand that you're always going to get more rejection, like, listen, if you're Nike or if you're Seth Godin, that's another fucking story. But don't become like Google, guys. Fucking Google is supporting Hillary Clinton. They might as well come out in the open, eh? Eric Schmidt, former CEO of Google, is now chairman of the board of the parent company. Like, he gets a $100 million severance package. By the way, he's a fucking genius and he deserves it. Don't get me wrong. He starts up this company called Groundwork. And it's basically, it's a company. It's a fucking corporation. As far as I know, I don't know all the facts. It's to support Hillary Clinton. And fucking Larry Page wants to do the same thing. My question is, why don't these sons of bitches want to support Bernie? Anyone? Because then they're going to have to feel the burn, baby. They're going to have to feel the fucking burn. Bernie's a commie. Bernie's like Karl Marx. I'll tell you, he's like Che Guevara. He's a fucking commie. Guys, before you put up your red fucking flags, communism equals community. Socialism equals society. I was in the mosque yesterday. And, I saw this book, written by obviously a Sunni. And it's like, fucking Islam has nothing to do with communism. And of course it's predicated on the stupid base and elemental thinking of, well, they don't believe in God and we believe in God. God is labels. They believe in good fuckers, good for all, and that's all Islam is. Anyway, Bernie's a commie, and you fuckers, Yanks, my Yankee friends, and anyone who listens to this, face up to the fact the most socialist fucking country after China and them guys is the US. Fannie Mae was bought out by the government. Fucking Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae were the cornerstone of the real estate market. I sold to them shits. I worked for Oracle Computer Associates. Hey man, my first software sales job, God is great. This was back in 2004. I was a young account manager, 32 years old. 32, I was like 29 or something. I got promoted, I got hired. Okay, so I'll tell you the fucking story and I'll pick up my weights. I just gotta get my stogie lit, eh? This is my new ghetto weapon. I gotta carry shit like this around. To remind me, something like this. The Quran says that everyone has their book of deeds is chained to their fucking neck, eh? That's one thing. Second thing is this. When I'm in a fight, I can whip you lightly, give you a bitch beating, right? Or I can fucking take some teeth out. And I don't mind, I don't fucking mind doing it at this point in the game. Quite frankly, you'll be like, this guy's crazy. He's a terrorist. Call the cops. Call the fucking cops. They know me by now. They actually like me. The cops like me because I'm a nice guy, right? And they don't charge me because I'm a nice fucking guy. They hit me, and I take it like a man. I'll be like, yeah, you're fucking right. I shouldn't have called your mom a slut. Yeah. I got slapped so fucking hard, I fly off the stool and hit the wall. My goddamn eyes red for a month and a week. And this was like last month. I just broke up with Judith, guys. Mi esposita colombiana de 11 fucking años. It's in fact 9 años. It's like 12 fucking years now. Guys, she's a Christian, I'm a Muslim. And here's how you can judge who's who and what's what and who oppresses who. Fuck. We had a church wedding. We literally met in October, on October the 17th, something like this, 2004. We got married on December the 24th, okay? 2004, 3 months later. Okay, this was a church wedding in Vancouver because she's my baby. She wants a church wedding, we do a church wedding. She spent like fucking thousands of dollars on that shit, man. And I want to prop my buddy Jag. Flew all the way up from fucking New York to come to my wedding. He gave me like $1,000 goddamn coffee machine. I wish I had that shit right now, Jag. I went to Starbucks to get fucking coffee, and I, being the dolts that I am, ended up buying a bag of beans instead, guys. A bag of fucking beans, and now I need to get a fucking coffee grinder. Which reminds me, I should probably go do that, eh? Go to Value Village. You know what? Instead of doing 3M, why don't I take you fuckers out for a walk? I don't know how much time I got left. That's the only problem. You want to do this the funny fucking way, guys? The funny fucking way would be that I put on my jail clothes. I got them shits lying around just to... Believe it or not, I got my jail clothes lying around just to remind me to be grateful to be out. And to remind me that at any fucking moment, we live in a police state, guys. Canada's a police state. To any country that has police with authority where they can just come, knock, and charge you and take... It's a police state. It's a police state. Now you're going to be like thought control versus freedom. It's all shit. The people in charge have these gang of goons called cops. They're fucking goons. You know they're corrupt. You know they kill people. You know they... Whatever, all the things gangsters do, it's worse with the police because they're meant to be protecting us from that shit. Watch Training Day. There's a reason Denzel fucking picked up the goddamn gold for that shit, eh? So, yeah, I'm letting out some steam here, guys. I want to talk about love. Reading some of the classic literature, Alain Boutin. If anyone is interested in a serious inquiry into love, Wormer, okay? Wormer. Sorrows of Young Werther or Wormer. I can't even remember. I got the book lying around here somewhere. I got books everywhere. I got so many fucking books that, like, I mean, it's like I'll never read them. I'll never read them, but I read some of. I get the essence of the book. Don't you understand? We don't have time to read books. I don't have time to read books. I read audiobooks. I will listen to commentaries. Guys, you need to constantly be putting information into your mind. You need to constantly be doing this shit. Because when you're there's two reasons. There's many fucking reasons. Imam Sadiq, peace be upon him, said, you know, I wish I was in a capacity where I could actually represent my holy imams in a seemingly noble fashion. Yeah? They said, Kunu lana zina wala kunu lana shina. Be look at my fucking hair, eh? I'm trying to shave it off, and I still got the back on. I'm fucked, guys. You guys look at me, and some of y'all are like, wow, he's like a social marketing expert, and I got fucking famous people following me. Fuck all of that shit. The real question is, what's going on on the inside? Anyway, Sorrows of Young Wormer by Goth. This guy used to wear a blue frock or whatever. They call it a frock. It's basically just an overcoat and this fancy frilly shit. You know, this is like Vienna, Austria, or some crap, some little village in Germany, or in that part of the so-called fucking fatherland, eh? The former fucking Reichland. God damn it. You look at Hitler and you're like, oh, well, was he religious? That's a good question for my atheist friends. You say religion's the cause of all the wars? How stupid. World War II in itself killed 55 fucking million people. You're going to say that's a religious war? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. I would like to know your response to this shit. Anyway. Is this even recording? Fuck, it's still recording. You guys are lucky, man. I got like 2 fucking hours on this poor little beat up iPhone of mine. It's an iPhone 4. It's the last phone I figure that Steve Jobs used. It's the ultimate productivity tool. You guys don't understand this statement until you've been where I've been and been doing with my fucking iPhone what I've been doing. This shit saved my life. It's brought me customers. It's done everything. Everything. Directions and Punani, all of this kind of stuff. iPhone, you don't need a tablet. You don't need a computer, PC. If you need a computer from time to time to do some graphics and all this shit, I understand that. But otherwise, iPhone, the way they've designed it, it's like called ergonomics. It's like this fucking chair. The way it's designed is it's like just designed to be comfortable to sit in. It just folds around your back and the cushions are like this and it's like this and that and all this kind of stuff. Same thing with iPhone 4. Guys, I'm going to get ready. So I got my jail stuff here and Alain Botton, okay? Alain de Botton. B-O-T-T-O-N, I believe it is. Essays on love. Essays on fucking love. If you're interested in love, don't watch any more of my video, because you know it's just stupid ramblings of a supposedly insane man, essentially is what it boils down to. OCD, like Orange County Detective, AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, right? Oh, fuck. Alright, listen guys, I'm going to get changed, and I'm going to maybe put on some music for you while I do that. What'd you like to listen to? Something light, eh? Well, you're not getting it. I'm sorry. I'll go halfway. I'll play Fear Factory, but I'll play Fear is the Mind Killer, which is an EP they put out, which is all digitized. Well, it's digitized. Everything's digitized, but it's got a lot of nice digital electronica. I haven't even heard it. I wasn't ever into that shit. Rob Zombie's really good at that kind of stuff. Rob Zombie, he puts out a lot of B-sides and stuff like that. And they, you know what, they fucking rock is all it is. People are going to be like, oh, Rob Zombie's going to go to hell. Why is that? Why is Rob Zombie going to go to hell? Because he inspired fucking tons of people? Because he employs tons of people? Because he gets people thinking? Because he inspires people like me to go out and inspire other people to become free thinkers? Is that it? If that's the case, I'm going to go to hell too. But I'm going to go praying 5 times a day. I'm going to go fasting 30 days, you know, a year. Going to the Hajj, all this kind of stuff. And I asked God to put me in the same place as Rob Zombie and people like that. Chuck Schuldiner from Death, God rest his soul. You know, you're going to say Bob Marley's going to go to hell because he was a musician? You must be smoking crack. He came up with this line. He who knows it feels it. He who feels it knows it, sorry. I laid that on one of my atheist friends the other day, and he's actually like, atheist_bot, dude, I salute your fucking ass, man. You're one of the cool guys out there, as well as Atheist Minus. Atheist Minus, @ Atheist Minus, his name is, for you to find out, he's a very, very fucking intelligent guy, man. Most intelligent person I've ever met in my life, apart from one of my ex-girlfriends, Laura Shasko. Laura, if you watch this shit, I still love you. I would fucking do anything for you in a heartbeat. Fucking heartbeat. You want to have babies? Let's do it. Seriously. Anyway, love, okay? So, essays in love, read that shit. And then read Status Anxiety. Because our love, there's two kinds of love we need, guys. There's love of the intimate partner, romantic love or whatever. And then there's the love of the world that we need. We need the love, approval, and admiration from the people. So the intimate love, okay, is the intimate love is an open and much celebrated kind of theme of everyone's life, right? It's like what Joseph Campbell would call a myth, a mythical motif. The reason that George Lucas is so successful with his stuff is because he's a student of Joseph Campbell. And he's a student of mythology. And all these great stories about the young hero and the dragon and the master and unrequited love. So Wormer, this guy in Goeth's book, The Sorrows of Wormer, guys, The Sorrows of Wormer, the guy basically has this frock on, blue frock, and he's writing letters to his friend back home. This is the structure of the book. He's writing letters to his friend back home about his situation. And in the beginning, it's like all nice and good and green hills and it's cool to be out of the city kind of shit. And then later on, it becomes very fucking intense and he eventually commits suicide. It was so moving that like hundreds, if not thousands, I don't know, maybe 20, who gives a fuck even if one guy did it? What people would dress up like the character in the book and commit suicide with a copy of the book in their fucking hand, like the guy who shot Lenin, fucking guy. I don't even want to say his name, right? Had a book of J.D. Salinger's, what was it? Catcher in the Rye. So now you're gonna say, okay, so let me just segue slightly. I'm a heavy metal guy, and people say heavy metal causes violence, whereas it's the opposite. Heavy metal people are the most fucking peaceful because we got an outlet for our violence. Heavy metal, you got Cannibal Corpse and Carcass, early Carcass, chopping up human bodies, stuffing. This is just pent up anger that you need to release. And if you're stupid and you want to keep that in you, one day you're gonna die early, essentially, or lose it, bust a nut, and you're gonna end up like this fucking person who just went out and just stabbed another 19 people in some fucking city somewhere. Some guy just went on a knife rampage in like Cali or something, man. Went on a knife rampage. Why? Because we all go through the same shit. Which is what? We all sometimes feel the world hates us. And which it segues back into the... Okay, so my question is this, very quickly. Heavy metal, violence, or what about this classic of literature? It caused people to commit suicide. I never heard no one down the book for that. I never heard no one down Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger's book. Nice little book. Guys, listen, if there's some classics out there that are fucking tiny. Right? The power of believing, I believe, the magic of believing, or something. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of self-help books. Actually, here's a good one. Acres of Diamonds, I guess it's called, or The Go-Getter. Like, there's all these little things that have become classics. Like, there's this little book I picked up yesterday. Okay, look how small this shit is. Indian Legends of Canada. Now, this was a sign from God, because right next to it was a couple of other books that were themes that I'd been thinking about. Indian Legends of Canada. And obviously Sitting Bull's going to be in here. And by the way, Canadians, be proud of yourselves that we didn't torture and rape and kill and maim and mutilate millions of natives. Okay? Our great nation. Fucking blood-spattered banner is what this shit is, according to Carcass. Star-spangled? Each of those stars is covered in the fucking pain and suffering of millions. Millions. Each of those 50 stars? Or 3 or 2, or I don't give a fuck because I don't know, and I don't give a shit about imperialism. Just like I don't give a fuck about somebody trying to bully someone else. If I see someone trying to... I saw some lady, when I was picking up this book, it was like at Harbourfront. Guys, if you live in Toronto, go down to Harbourfront and just go there. You'll be fucking blown away. Period. Okay? By Queen's Quay. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Right? Just by the lake, right? Harbourfront. They got museums there. They got fucking art shows. They got all this free stuff that goes on there that nobody goes to, because in trendy Toronto, people like going where other people are, and they preen. It's like fucking peacocks, right? I look nice. I got a nice dog. I got a nice car. I'm all like this and that. And you walk into Harbour Centre, oh my God, the ambience I can't describe. It's like it's sucked into a vacuum. You walk inside and it's like your head, it takes you a few minutes before you realize that there's something very strange going on. You feel some kind of pressure, like a gentle massage in your head because of the silence. And it's not just silence, it's like a cave in there, guys. Paintings and all this shit. You come off the busiest, one of the busiest fucking streets in parts of town in the world or whatever it is. CN Tower is literally 5-minute walk from Harbourfront, right? Or a 5-minute run, let's say. Definitely a 5-minute bike, eh? So, go there and check it out. I was there yesterday. Some lady had some, oh my God. I lost it and I left myself. Because this is what I do, right? I lost it and I left myself. I'll tell you, Don Juan said that that's what a warrior does. He has short bursts of emotion. Guys, think about that. Anyone who's struggling with bipolar so-called issues and OCD, catch yourself acting out. You gotta catch yourself acting out. Because you get so much energy. You get so caught into what you're doing. Don't be that guy who goes down the path of destruction. Catch yourself acting out. The whole purpose of life is self-awareness, guys. Alright, so this bitch had her little fucking girl, 3 or 4-year-old little girl. Our Imam Sadiq told us what it is. When with children, be as a child. You understand? When you're dealing with children, you fucking people, they're not adults. Be like a child. She's standing there lecturing this fucking thing, and then another woman next to her is holding the baby leash. The baby fucking leash. Sign of someone who's so ignorant that they don't even take the time to, you know what, fuck this thing. I'm not going out there. It's Monday. Monday's my day off. Monday's the day they killed Imam Hussein. Monday's my day off. I study on Monday. I work out on Monday. I go nuts on Twitter on Monday. I do whatever the fuck I want. I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, singing obituary on Monday. You know, so I guess we don't need any music. Or maybe I'll put on Fear is the Mind Killer in the background. Because, guys, music helps you focus, among other things. I mean, there are many. I personally believe that music and even perhaps drinking wine, I don't know for sure. Because you gotta calm down. You gotta calm yourself down. Like life, once you realize what's going on, you're filled with so much passion that you can't exist in this world. Like you become like insane. It's so fucking intense. Now, remember, I said like insane. You're free to think I'm insane all you like, but you're never going to catch me calling myself insane, guys. That's another tip for anyone out there struggling with these kinds of issues. Tell people to go fuck themselves in your mind. It's like my baby would say. You know, on the outside, you're, you know, fuck. Show them your teeth, okay?
Now you can play OLG games online, because casino, slots, and lottery, well, they're all in one great place. And with games added often, there's always something new. Must be 19 or older for casino games, 18 or older for lottery.
Born into a warrior. Alright, fuckers. So you saw how that was. I mean, each time I do this shit, I basically just try and throw in a couple of new moves, eh? And, so what I was doing was balancing on one foot. Balancing on one foot and doing with weights is like the hidden treasure of fucking bodybuilding. You're never going to learn that from a fitness instructor, fuckers. I'm trying to hit up Tim Ferriss right now. 4-hour work week, 4-hour body, eh? I've realized what I need to do now. I mean, basically, as a marketing guy, you don't do shit until you have the fucking plan of the century. And it's got every exigency and contingency and ABC outcomes. And then what do we do if that happens? Everything you can map out, you map out. And then you sit on it for a month. And then you're like, nothing else comes to mind. Your team's like, yeah, that's about it. Then you fucking pull out all stops. Then is when you start signing the 6-figure, 4, 5, 6, 7-figure checks. And you start spending the millions. Because at that point, you've already played out the game. You know what your competitors are going to do, distributors are going to do, the average person is going to do. And you've made, basically, you prepared for all of that. And then you push your fucking message out there. Okay? Anyway, salesandmarketingforyou.com, separated by hyphens. By the way, I look like a scumbag with this mattress, but this beautiful mattress, I'm just too lazy or stupid to put this thing back on here, right? I mean, when I moved in here, the mattress was covered with this, and it looked so great, eh? I might as well just pretend, harken back to those beautiful times. You know, I had this place all decked up, thinking my beautiful wife would come in. She'd actually, you know, I did a lot in here just in preparation for her to come and visit. In fact, I would go as far as to say what Bryan Adams says. Everything I do for you, babe. I did for you. I did. 2 days ago, I took Judith's iPhone 6 and I chucked it off the fucking 24th story of her building. Why? I'll tell you why. Because she was going to call the cops on me. Why? Because back in 2011, when I started wigging out, instead of giving me love and understanding, and let's get together and I'll stop smoking weed, she's such a fucking varak and I love her for it. That's what she is. She's gangster. She called the cops on me. I went for a ride in the Jeep, windows down, volume up, 160 down to 410, blasting like Beethoven or Modest Mussorgsky is what it was really. Or actually Nikolai Korsakov-Rimsky. Guys, there's a lot of great classical music out there. If you're a musician, you really need to start getting into some of the things that are out there that you may have not heard of. You want to go to like live365.com. You want to pick up the app and you want to start exploring different genres of music. There's all kinds of crazy business going on. Like for instance, soundtrack music. Movie soundtrack music is some of the greatest shit you'll ever hear in your life. And when you actually hear something, sometimes you'll feel like the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up. And you'll be like, fuck, and then you look at the app, and then you see it's a movie that you're familiar with, right? Tears of the Sun, or, you know, Empire of the Sun, or whatever the fuck it is, right? Star Wars, obviously, but they've got different variations of the Star Wars theme, and you'll be like really, really intrigued by what goes on. It's a great experience. So, customer experience is everything. I want to write a blog about it. I might as well just say a couple of things about it. Guys, listen. You gotta take your eyes off yourself. You gotta look, like I was watching this TED talk by Seth Godin, okay? He's got a picture of Copernicus. Copernicus, the guy who was tortured and fucking jailed and vilified by the church and almost killed because he insisted, due to his observations, right? That the Earth is not the center of the universe, right? The Earth is not. The human ego is the center of the human universe. But the real universe is 80% dark matter. And by the way, that's just conjecture. For all you so-called scientific bozos out there who think that we're so cool and, hey, we got space lasers and we've... practically, people have this impression that we've, like, conquered the universe. Fuckers, you couldn't even... you haven't even conquered this little thing on the end of my string here. This thing on the end of the string. If you actually talk to a scientist, a real scientist... a spiritual scientist versus a materialistic scientist, fucking guy will say, I don't know shit about this thing. And it may not even exist, quite frankly. The only thing I know is that I exist, the guy will say. If he's like talking the truth. So anyway, love. What's there to be said about love? I'll just tell you what Imam Ali said. Romantic love is the greatest delusion. Delusion. Like, you fuckers say that believing in God is a delusion. You're so stupid. Like, how can you say that? Like, for instance, let me just make it clear to you why I believe in God. And maybe this fucking line of approach will work, fuckers. Guys, okay. So, believe in God. Okay, so we know that there are natural laws that guide material phenomenon. And we also know that there are phenomenon that are supra or submaterial. Okay. Like, for instance, radio waves and light and energy and all this shit. We know that it exists, but it's not material, and it took us centuries and thousands of millennia and all this shit to actually even get to a point where we're aware of these things and then be able to measure them. That's really fucking insane, by the way. Okay, supra and sub. So, you've got, let's say, a solid thing. You expose it to heat. At a certain point, that fucking thing is going to become vapor. And charge remains, but the vapor becomes supra. It's like beyond. It's gone outside of the scope of the material, but it still exists, right? According to you, it's like, oh, the energy can never be. My dad's a physicist, fuckers. Yeah, PhD. He's been teaching for 40 fucking years. 45. God bless his soul. He's 75, and he's still an esteemed professor at Mount Royal University. Hello, in Calgary, which used to be MRC, Mount Royal College, where Premier Klein, other than the late and great Premier Klein, another man who's going to heaven. People be like, oh, he's a drunkard, and this. I don't give a fuck. Churchill, same thing. How the hell can you take a great personality of the world who's actually affected such good and say he's going to go to hell based on your flimsy definitions, which you apply to other areas of life, and hence, ergo, the fact that you're a scumbag and everyone around you suffers because of what you are. Now, you might say the same about me. I try, though, right? Guys, okay. Every person has his book of deeds around your neck. You can't get away from it, right? This chain shit is the bitch. I don't want anyone to go out and copy me. You'll get fucking charged. I know what I'm doing. I'm a security guard. I got a security license, right? So, anyway. So, we have love. And then we have, what else are we talking about? I guess let's go back to love. Okay, so romantic love is the greatest delusion. And there's two love affairs we have in this world, according to Alain Bottain. It's so amazing, guys. When you become a seeker of knowledge, according to Imam Sadiq, if you knew the benefits of knowledge, you would shed your blood like water, dive into the depths of the oceans, and scale the top of the mountain. You and me. If we knew the benefits of knowledge and there was some knowledge deposited at the top of Mount Himalaya, right? The Himalayas, Mount Everest, or K2. And by the way, being a Paki, I might as well, and I'm a proud Paki. I tell you I hate Pakis, but that doesn't mean I hate Pakistan. Just like I hate Muslims, I don't hate Islam at all. Obviously, I mean, it's far from that. Let's just put it that way. There's a 2-week window in May. Me and my ex-boss from Computer Associates, fucking gangbuster, Pratish Upadhyay, hey boss. You know I'm your man. I hope by now you've realized what kind of dude I am. We're gonna go up that fucking thing. There's base camps, guys. It goes base camp 1, base camp 2, base camp 3, and then there's like final ascent. I don't think there's a base camp 4 or 5. I don't know. Everest is fucked, first of all. You gotta read Into Thin Air by John Krakauer. If we knew that there was stuff up there, real knowledge, the whole world would be trying to get up there. And there's only 2 weeks in and why do people do stuff like that? Just because you get so fucking fired up in life and nobody understands you. It's like me, I get into my art. And if it wasn't for my art, I would have slit my fucking wrist a long time ago or jumped off a balcony. I think at this point it's probably what would have happened. So if you tell me music is haram and it's wrong and all this stuff, that's great. But I'm the guy who's actually read all of the fatwas of our ayatollahs. And I'm the guy who will tell you the various definitions of music. There's music, haram music, there's 3 or 4 categories of music that are considered right versus wrong. Or let's just put it this way, like with everything else, if you don't do the wrong things, everything's good. Everything else is good. Here's the thing, guys. Music which incites lust and sensuality is considered wrong. That's one category. Music that you bop to is considered wrong. That has a rhythm, that you're tapping your fucking foot or something, right? That's considered wrong. Now, on the other hand, here's some other definitions. Ayatollah Khamenei, Damallahu Dulluhu, He used to be my, I used to be in his taqlid. I used to be his, like every Shia. Shia has two options, guys. Either he has to follow an Ayatollah or a Mujtahid. Mujtahid is from jihad, because the ultimate jihad is that of knowledge. You have to follow a scholar so that those questions that come up in your life that you don't have an answer for, like test tube babies and contraception and blood transfusion and, gay marriage, I guess, I don't know. So basically, you ask these guys, and they come back with solid responses. Like, for instance, I asked, just out of curiosity, it's not like I'm a terrorist or nothing. I asked, this is the difference between Shia and Sunni. I asked Ayatollah Khamenei, I emailed him. You can go to wilaya.org. Whiskey, India, Lima, Alpha, Yankee, Alpha, Hotel.org. He's called the Wali fuck right now. The ultimate. Okay, and with everything there's always two. He's the ultimate in terms of the official, high-ranking Shia scholar of our times. However, in Iraq, we got the real deal. Sistani. Ayatollah Sistani is the guy who, when the Americans invaded, he gave the fatwa, you're not to interfere. Okay? Ayatollah Khamenei, I asked him, to what extent does a Muslim have to comply with non-Muslim laws in the country he's living in? In fact, Ayatollah Sistani, there's a great article out there called The Good Ayatollah by a beautiful gentleman called Howard Schultz or something. Like the guy who started Starbucks. Hey, I want to go to fucking Stars so bad, man. I need coffee, by the way. Should we go get some coffee and I finish this fucking thing off? Hey, maybe even put a goddamn shirt on, huh? I'm just so excited with my body, guys. You can see the definition. And you're gonna fucking tell me this stuff doesn't work and you don't have a scarf and you can't go to Walmart and get some weights? You're sick if you're like that. You know what? You get different kinds of weights. You do different kinds of things. If you want to work out, you work out, okay? You don't make fucking excuses. You don't make excuses. You're not lazy and you're honest. That's it. That's all you need to do in life. And don't be scared. That's kind of tricky, right? Because in order not to be scared of people, you need to have something else you're scared of, which is reality. Let's put it that way. Life. The world. The universe at large. Okay, so I was trying to explain the existence of God. There's natural phenomenon, natural laws that govern physical phenomenon. Okay, fuck the coffee, eh? Let me just get this out the way. Oh no, I do need the coffee. Okay, so that's Fear Factory. Fear's the mind killer. And Windows is such shit, I don't even mind just shutting it off like that nowadays. It's so fucking shit. I can't even uninstall it. That's how greedy and desperate Microsoft are for fucking browser share right now, and operating system market share and mind share. They're just gangsters, man. Fucking Microsoft is a marketing company. Like, I'm an IT guy, and I'm a software guy, and I'm a fucking Oracle guy. And it's Larry Ellison who taught me a lot of the stuff. Fucking Turks, man. I can't take any more of this shit. Those goddamn Ottoman wannabes. I don't give a damn if the guy the father of the nation was a great guy. He might have been a great guy. Erdogan is a fucking wanker, and he's a goddamn rapist, and he kills people, eh? And that's all that shit is. Right? Erdogan's a goddamn fucking wanker, and he's killing babies right now, man. He's doing what the Americans, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say that the founding fathers are not exonerated from all of this because they had slaves, guys. I'm sorry, I love the fucking founding fathers, guys. They gave up their lands, their lives, their property, everything they put on the line. They were tortured and humiliated. Can you imagine? You can't even take somebody saying no to you. You can't take some girl slapping you or throwing her wine in your fucking face. And you're going to say that these guys were like, well, blah, blah, blah. They had funny hair and all this shit. They were gangbangers. They used to get into fights with each other and shoot at each other. And Mr. Dawkins, fuck you. They were all men of faith down to the last man. The clergy that they complained about, that was the English clergy. They picked up arms, and that's why the first fucking amendment, constitutional right, you're going to ban the NRA? Hey, I ban the NRA. I'm not a big Charlton Heston fan either. But I do believe in the right to carry arms. And I carry fucking arms. And I will... Why? I'll tell you why. Because you meet all kinds of fucking punks out there who are strong and big. By the way, I'm a small guy and I can take out 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 fucking big guys. Yeah, with this thing and what I got, you could even give me a guy with like fucking knife or a machete, man. And if I'm in my mode, I can fucking take people out like you can't even imagine, guys. Do I do it? No. Will I do it? Maybe. I'm a fucking passive. I call myself a. I say that I'm violently non-violent, right? So I see this little girl getting harassed by this woman in this harborfront center. Like basically, there's harborfront and then there's a little community center. It's the best. If you live in Toronto and you live anywhere near downtown and you don't take your kids on a Sunday to the harborfront center and then this beautiful little library, they got computers, they got gyms, they got practically a fucking rock climbing wall, and other kids. If you listen to this and you don't do that, please don't come back here and pollute my fucking channel with your vibes, eh? Right? It's like people who see me sing and they can't even say a nice thing, like good effort. That's because they're burning up. I don't mind it, actually, on one level. But anyway, feel the burn, guys. Feel the fucking burn. Bernie Sanders, he's not going to win. Clinton's going to win. But feel the fucking burn for what it's worth. Feel it, man. We got like a good roll until November to fucking put some sense. Hillary Clinton is going to win. But feel the burn is about, let's get some sense knocked into the establishment. Guys, the funny fucking thing is Donald Trump, ultimate capitalist, is also now the ultimate anti-establishmentarianist symbol. And I love him. How can you not love him? How can you not love a man who doesn't care about nobody and speaks his mind? That's the way you want to be. And that's the way you and me want to be. He's like that already. It's so fucking funny. There is a God. Look at this. I got a fucking Trump card. I was downtown and some guy came up to me and says, "Do you want a job? Do you want to be a CEO?" I'm like, "Are you a fucking gangster or something, man?" Because I went up there to beat his fucking ass. Because he was like giving me lip. He was sitting outside of a Sev like he's a homeless guy. But he's dressed nice. And it's like 2 in the morning. And I'm doing my business. I had a big ass fucking day yesterday. I can't even think about it, let alone begin to tell you about it. Did I almost get killed? Yeah, a couple of times. Did I almost get into fights? Bunch of times, 3, 4, 5 times. Did I lose my shit? Yeah. And then beautiful Paladin Security, not Paragon Security, great company. RBC building right on Bay Street, and it would have to be King. You know, they actually, I was praying out. My buddy was with me, and he was wigging out because he was drunk, and he's a fucking meth head, and he basically alcoholic, self-confessed. And we bumped into each other after a long time, and you know, I guess I have to say I gave him a couple of bucks for a fucking beer or whatever, right? And because he's like, I need it. He's like, I need it. He's like, I'm an alcoholic. I fucking need it. He's like, if I don't take alcohol right now into my system, I told Judith a couple of things about alcohol, and I know I'm digressing. I don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck, so let's roll, eh? If you take a well, a cistern, a well, anything like that, like, well, I'd have to say well. A cistern may not be the right word, I don't know. But if you take, I got to work on my tries, I know, my triceps, but don't worry, I'll get there. It's a methodology, methodical approach. There's a methodology behind it. You start with your shoulders, believe it or not, and your back. Work on your back and shoulders. Once they're strong, you'll already be the Hulk. But now you want to look like the Hulk, you start them. Time to pray, guys. I gotta go. I'm just going to say these last couple of things. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, said, if there's a well that's been emptied of water and it's covered with dirt and grass grows, okay, so it's been an empty well and somebody pours wine into it, and then you cover it with dirt, and then out of the dirt, grass grows and a goat eats that grass, I would not want to eat the meat of that goat. I don't know if it sounds extreme to you. To me, it's the beautiful thoughts of an exquisite and cultured mind beyond that which we can even have a real understanding of, apart from just glimpses that are peculiarly configured minds and our skewed thought patterns can submit to. Now, he also said if there's a line of camels, 40 camels, because the way you take camels is you tie the tail to the nose of the last one, kind of thing. Or the neck, if you got brains and you're not a sadist like these fucking people with leashes, dog leashes, should be outlawed. Like kid leashes, like I tore that woman an asshole, as I'm saying. I told her Imam Sadiq's saying, I said it in English twice, when will a child be like a child? But her ego didn't submit. I said, when will a child be? She's looking at me thinking, what business is it of yours? Now, our imams have said, mind your own business. On the other hand, if I see some shit like that going on, I tell people, if there's going to be a fight, there's going to be not 2 people, but 3 people. And if there's 4 people, there's going to be 5 people. Because I'm going to get in there, I'm going to fucking kick your asses and get you to stop fighting. And I do it all the time. Some crackhead was wailing on some guy with a cane. Some guy had a cane, an old man, and a fucking crackhead was beating this guy up. I grabbed the dude for the first time. I'd never done it. I grabbed him and hugged him and said, brother, don't. This kind of shit. He turned out to be a fucking Muslim. No surprises there. But the poor guy just went away. I didn't need a thanks from him. Right? Allah is Shakur as well. That's one of his names. If you do stuff for him, he's grateful. By the way, I'd rather have God's gratitude than my fucking boss's gratitude or one of my customers any day. I love my customers, and if you give me the honor of employing me, that's great. I'll do my best. You know I'll do my fucking best, but you know I'll probably piss fuckers off too. Everyone wants to get other people to follow the rules that they themselves turn their backs on. Allahu Akbar. Alright guys, I gotta go pray. And in order to do that, I gotta take a bath. In order to do that, I gotta eat and all this kind of stuff. Cycle of life, right? So there you have it. Thank you for listening. Love is a delusion. The killer of Imam Ali. The killer of our master was basically, you know, when Imam Ali was going to pray that morning in the mosque and lead the prayers, when the guy hit him on his head, right? And he was in the prostration, right? So he was leaving his house and he suffered for 3 days. Poisoned sword, assassin, like high level shit. And the assassin basically, the reason he did that was because of love. He met, on the rooftop there was this lady who was some kind of powerful lady, and she was an enemy of Imam Ali and connected to those people and those families. And she said to this fucking guy, Abdurrahman ibn Muljam, like a cursed person, when Imam Ali was basically hit with the sword, he said to the guy, was I a bad imam to you? Was I not a good imam to you? Why did you do this to me? But on the other hand, he loved it. When he was hit with the sword, he said, Futtu min Rabb al-Kaaba, I finally succeeded. You guys would be like, why do these guys want to die? My question is, why do you want to live in this world of thieves and liars? You know, when he was going to go to the mosque that morning, guys, and the little ducks, the little ducklings in his yard, they said something was wrong, and they came and they started, they with their beaks, they held onto his clothes, eh? And they didn't want him to go. You know, there was a leper. They discovered a lot of stuff like this after Imam Ali passed away, peace be upon him. Although you shouldn't say of those who have died in Allah's way that they're dead. There's a lot going on, guys. The whole thing with this proof of God is this. Okay. The problem is we separate the world of human affairs from natural world at large. Okay? So a leper was outside the city, and when he heard, and they found this guy, and then they heard sounds coming from a cave. Some guy was crying, like I was just crying right now. They went inside the cave. The leper was there, and he was crying. He's like, "Where's my friend? Where's my friend?" And then they said to him, "What's going on with you, man?" Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein found the guy. Peace be upon them both, the sons of Imam Ali. And they're like, "What's going on with you here? Like, what are you doing in here anyway?" He's a leper and he couldn't even move. He's like, Ali would come every day and he would clean me and he'd change my bandages and he'd talk to me and he'd feed me and he'd take care of me. He was my only friend in the world. When they told him he passed away, the fucking guy expired. His soul left his body. He couldn't take the shock, man. Anyway, so here's the thing. Do you guys as atheists, I'll just cut to the chase. I'm stupid. I should listen to the word of the Quran. Qulu qawlan sadida. Speak a straight word. So, do you guys think that things like morality are just cool things? Or do you think they actually have a bearing in as much as affecting the course of your life? because it becomes mystical mumbo jumbo in a fucking heartbeat. It's like Sam Harris, my man. He's talking about spirituality. He's got the balls to talk about spirituality as an atheist. Originally, I went at the guy with my fucking guns blazing, obviously. I got like 4 or 5 videos answering Sam Harris, and I got his face there, and I'm zooming in and out, making all these weird noises. I gotta prop the guy. First of all, he's a gentleman. I'm a fucking scumbag, eh? Goddamn gangster wannabe. Security officer, failed corporate guy, failed marketing guy. You know, failed in the sense that, you know, do you see me living in a mansion? Or at least a nice place? If I had a choice, maybe I would live in a nice condo by the lake or some shit. Sam Harris talks about spiritual atheism. There is a spiritual atheism, there's a spiritual science, there's a materialistic atheism, there's a materialistic science. He who knows it feels it, guys. So, he obviously understands, and if you read The Landscape of Morality and you listen to some of his TED Talks on morality, he understands morality itself is a scientific, it's like a cause and effect kind of thing. If you're good, good things happen. And it becomes like magic. If you're bad, bad things happen. And it's like magic. It's not magic. It's fucking laws of the universe. So I'll leave it at that. I think I said everything. And as much as love is concerned, the lady on the rooftop said to the fucking killer of Imam Ali, peace be upon him, you want to marry me? Then the dowry for my marriage is Imam Ali's head. Can you believe that? So the guy went, and he used to be one of the biggest supporters of Imam Ali. Prophet Muhammad had said, he used to cry. He used to cry, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family, and he used to hug Ali and kiss him. And he used to say, the lonely martyr. By the end of his life, Imam Ali, if you guys knew who Imam Ali was, we're Shia just means follower of Imam Ali, basically. Shia means friend. Shia, friend of who? Ali. Shiani Ali ibn Abi Talib, that's what we are. We're Shias of Ali. Because these other people went and elected their own caliph, and we did what Prophet Muhammad said, which is we followed his successor. I was in the mosque yesterday fighting with some more Sunnis over this stuff. Like if the caliphs, like the Ottoman fucking Turkish fucking fuckheads who are vilifying and raping, essentially, and killing and doing everything. Like they shoot these poor people so much with guns and tanks and mortar shells that you can't even identify the body. They keep shooting them after they're dead. That's how much rage and hatred this fucking Erdogan's put in their minds. Can you believe that? They're shooting kids and teenagers, pregnant women, everything. People are hiding, they're shooting them. In Islam, it's haram. You can't first of all fight someone who doesn't fight you, period. If the guy's running away, you gotta let him go. If they're women and children, you don't just go out there and start fucking mass destruction like the US, basically, right? Oh, hey, can we see all this noble imagery? But it's actually savage hypocrisy, guys, because you've actually already condoned mass destruction. And now you're the guys telling us not to have weapons of mass destruction, and we don't even believe in that shit. Ayatollah Khamenei, Damallahu Dhullahu, and Imam Khomeini, Rahmatullah alayh, they both were against nuclear weapons because it's obviously illogical, irrational, and all these imperatives, as per Sam Harris once again, create a moral imperative. Rational imperative becomes a moral imperative. That's all there is, guys, is reason. Okay, last fucking thing. I keep going on and on. It's just under an hour. I guess I'm going to try and keep these things under an hour. I got already 2 of these fucking things on here, and the problem becomes I don't even know what the other ones are about. Then I gotta start watching them again and making fucking notes about what the fuck is on there and all this kind of stuff. And see if I can put things together that way. Guys, let me just say one thing to you. Go nuts, guys. Go nuts, okay? You're worried about your diet and all this shit? This is all you need in life. A bag of trail mix. It's got fruits, it's got veggies, and it's got protein, and it doesn't have protein. It doesn't have that much protein. It's got carbs. Protein's not a big deal though. Everybody eats meat and everyone all this shit. Carbs are tricky because they turn into sugar and they make you fat. Sugar you want to fucking avoid completely. I am allergic to sugar right now, and you got to go watch Big Sugar on YouTube and you'll become fucking allergic to sugar too. If you want sugar, natural sugar. Look how beautiful this stuff is. Yeah? That's it. What's a meal? 3 fist-size portions. Fruits and veggies, protein, carb. So fucking simple, man. And then you got this FDA food charts and all this kind of nonsense. Okay, last story. Alright? I've been sick for the last month. I've never been this sick in my life. I'm taking these fuckers to court. I haven't paid them rent this month. I told them I'll pay you, instead of $850, I'll pay you $900. I just don't have time to leave. And they're like, no, you're making too much noise and you told us you'd leave. I was like, you know what, this is Canada. Now I'm staying and I'm not even going to pay. I filed a complaint with the Landlord-Tenant Board, which is part of the Social Justice Tribunal, which comes under the fucking Human Rights fucking Commission of Canada. Those fuckers you don't fuck with. Human Rights Commission of Canada, if you file a successful application with them, 100%, what is this thing? Basically, you'll win. If they say, yeah, you got a case, that means you've won already. So, Imam Sadiq, peace be upon him. So we're called Shias because we are connected to Imam Ali. But there's another personality, if you're interested in Islam, you've got to look up, and you'll never know about him unless you talk to a Shia. Or are lucky. Jafar, like the genie. A Sadiq. A Sadiq means truthful. He wrote the first self-help book in the world, guys. Just Google Lantern of the Path and prepare to have your fucking mind blown and your whole value system turned upside down and lose your friends and family and go through a moral crisis and be out in the wilderness and come back a sage. If you really understood all of that, you can actually do it. Just read that book. That's all you need in this world. You won't even be able to handle a single chapter of it. The Lantern of the Path. We're called Fiqh Jafri. The Shias, Ahl Tashayyu, are called Fiqh Jafri because our sixth Imam propagated Islamic sciences to such an extent that there's still, his students were guys like Ibn Sina and Hayyan ibn Jabbar or Fajr or algebra. All these fucking people, a father of chemistry, algebra, maths, all these people were either direct students of Imam Sadiq or students of his students, not to mention the four main Sunni so-called Imams who lived after 200 years after the death of Prophet Muhammad. And they suddenly, because of Imam Sadiq, guys started calling themselves Imams, or actually, people started calling these guys Imams, because in order to become a student of Imam Sadiq, either it was academic, or you had to become a Shia. And because people hate Shias, just like people hate Jews, people hate atheists, any fucking person who does anything good, you know, becomes hateful. I mean, of course, the Bible basher is hateful. That's not what I'm talking about. It's a very tricky thing, huh? It's like Imam Ali said, peace be upon him, that, see, in this world, it's not easy to tell what's good and what's bad sometimes. Like, you know, is America good? Or is Israel good? Or is Zionism good? Like, my whole thing is, Israelis are fine. I love fucking Israelis. The same as everyone else, right? My best friend in life, one of them at least, is Aliyah Ginsburg. If you think my music is cool, he's my fucking musical master. Yeah. He's been schooling me since 1994. He's been my musical mentor for 20 years. Anything I have in music, I refer to him. He taught me things like all music's already been written. It's just being rearranged. And I take that further by returning with the statement that all music has been written, and it's all available in classics, and it's all of that is available in fucking Beethoven. If you listen to Beethoven's, let's say, discography, from A to Z, after that, you won't, like, first of all, if you do listen to all of it, you'll become a master of all the fucking kinds of music out there, including jazz, hip-hop, improv, outprov, anything, fucking heavy metal, guys. They got stuff in there that makes Napalm, that basically is on equal footing with Napalm Death, in terms of all this kind of stuff's in classical. The nice funky shit's in there, and usually people, as usual, the conception of the masses is quite far from the reality. You think classical and you're like da-da-da with fiddles and da-da-da-da, strings and horns, right? So, I love Jews. I hate Zionism though, right? Imam Ali said that truth and falsehood are not always, in fact, they're not distinct from each other. You've got to be very careful, because to say truth and justice are mixed up, he says. They're mixed up, and only person who really applies himself and is sincere, God will guide you to the real reality of what's going on. On the other hand, there's a famous verse of the Quran, La ikraha fid din. There's no compulsion in religion. Like I can't force someone to buy something. I can force them to buy it. I can. But I can't force them to like it. How am I going to do that, right? I can create an opportunity for him to... My whole thing is it's like exposure marketing or exposure sales. I just want an opportunity to... What I've got in my mind, I want to transpose that into your mind, and so you give this thing a try. Because the way I see it, it's like, this is really fucking good shit, guys. Starbucks and all this kind of stuff. I have to say, yes, I'm holding the logo towards the lens of purpose. I do prop Howard Schultz. Okay? And, Amazon's in Washington, and so is Microsoft, and so is Starbucks, right? It's a fucking great place. My Google voice number is a 425 number, and in this town, it's like people are like, 425? Because everyone wants a 416 number because it's so trendy. Even me, I was into that shit for a while. I give people, like phone companies, I give them hotel fucking addresses in Toronto. And go ahead, send my fucking bill to my hotel room or whatever. I'll be long gone or whatever, right? Anyway, I just want to finish off by explaining that I don't know what to say, going around in circles as usual. But, yeah. Like Rafidin, Katabayna Rushtu min al-Ghayb. Guidance is clear from misguidance. That's always clear. But truth and justice are mixed up. Big topic, philosophy, all this kind of stuff. Finally, when Allah created reason... Okay, let me give you another story about reason. There's one of our famous Shia scholars from like 13th century. The reason I'm coughing is because I was smoking cigarettes yesterday, believe it or not. So one of, and the way to make it stop, believe it or not, is to smoke a cigar, eh? So I'm going to do that. And you're going to come with me. Check this out, huh? Throwing star. Fucking throwing star. This is in the hands of a guy like me, if you knew what I'm capable of, you'd rather have me on your side with this than a guy with a fucking AK. Because he's never going to fire that thing off, ever. Because he's going to be on the front pages of the news tomorrow, and he knows it. AKs are just... And, like, you got assault weapons, police officers now... Guys, police departments across North America and the world are arming their folks with fucking heavy-duty fucking arsenal, eh? Same kind of shit the Turks are using against the poor Kurdish women and children. And boys. Right? And old people. How can you hate a whole race to the extent that you're going to wipe them all out? It's just the whole Rwanda thing all over again. And yeah, the West doesn't do nothing about it. Because they don't give a fuck about it. And you can't blame them. Do you give a fuck? Have you done something about Rwanda? Why are you blaming Bill Clinton? He sent some fucking hellies in there. What the fuck was Black Hawk Down anyway? Huh? You don't think that was connected to Rwanda and Somalia and the whole thing that's going on there? Bill Clinton's a good guy. I like him. I don't like Hillary anymore. I think she's gone wayward. But I think it'll be fine to have Bill back in the office, and that's all it is. And let me tell you something very interesting. The Bush dynasty ran the States for 16 years. Bush Sr., Bush Jr. 2 terms. Prior to which you had Bill Clinton doing his 8, and look at the swing of things. Now he can come back in, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, how cool is a woman president? I think that's fucking awesome. Hey guys, Imam Ali did say, peace be upon him, I'll tell you the truth. From a religious perspective, it is wonky. Although there are, like in Bangladesh, for instance, and Pakistan, are late and great so-called great, but late for sure, Benazir Bhutto. Oxford studied, and, the princess of Pakistan and all this crap, eh? And then there's this lady, Nasima something or the other in Bangladesh, right? So she was the prime minister, Khalida or something like this. But Imam Ali said, peace be upon him, that women is not a manager. Ideally, in her ideal, although they make great fucking managers. Obviously, Melissa Meyer, and you've got the CEO of Brown, UPS, or the ex-CEO, I'm sure at this point, a black lady. A black lady ran Brown, eh? That's fucking ace. Because women are way more sensitive to and compassionate, right? And so they are great people to have in positions of power. However, the way a woman's mind operates versus a guy, the reason you need a guy in charge is because there are other guys out there. And women have no idea how fucking vicious guys are. Unless you turn into an Imelda Griseldo, guys, you should go out and watch some Cocaine Cowboy, what is this shit? On YouTube. I used to say you shouldn't watch other people's shit, and I still believe in that. But on the other hand, like if someone makes a movie and then he has 1 million people watch it on YouTube, he's not going to mind that at all, because he's suddenly going to be fucking famous. And having that kind of influence is way more valuable than if he had a limited distribution and he made 100 grand. Now he's got 1 million fucking. He might have made 25 grand, but he's got millions of fans, so he can market to them now. Do you understand? Just use your brain, guys. It's the fucking digital age after all, right? This whole thing of IP, intellectual property, is for the birds. There's no fucking intellectual property in the digital age. If you put it out there, then you're responsible. Or let's put it this way: if you put it out there, or you didn't have the security in place, essentially, to stop it from getting out there. Now, I'm speaking on authority. I was part of the much admired Toronto International Film Festival anti-piracy team, which is held by one of my best buddies in life, branch manager for Securitas here in Toronto, Janikin Vasanthiran. The guy does fucking business with Conrad Black's son, eh? I mean, you'll be like, no, this can't be true. I don't give a fuck what you think. For 10 years, he's my age right now. For 10 years, since he was 24. Something like this. He's actually younger than me. He's an incredible guy. He's just like my boss, Pratish, from Computer Associates. So for 10 years, he's been running the anti-piracy stuff at TIFF. We go in with monoculars, one eye, infrared. And we're standing there. We got our team set up. You're over there. Guys next to the screen. Your back is to the screen. You're not going to look at the movie for a fucking second. Because we got studio execs in there, and they're watching your ass, and we got studio people in there, and we got a brand to protect. We all got these beautiful, clean, crisp, white-collared T-shirts. Securitas logo, 3 circles, 3 red circles. On the back it says anti-piracy. I still got a couple of them. You know, he let me keep them. I mean, obviously, after you've worn them, they're impossible to clean, now I realize. I thought he was just being a nice guy, but he is a nice guy. I love the guy. Janikin, I love you, baby, and we're going to do some, we're gonna bring the software world down to its knees, eh? Guys, I gotta go. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. Love is the ultimate delusion, eh? Okay, the story about rEaSoN. I'll tell you both stories. Okay, Kuleni, our scholar, he wrote this huge compilation of the sayings and speeches of our holy imams, peace be upon them all, and the family of Prophet in general, peace be upon them all. Guess what the first book is called? Kitab al-Bab al-Aql, or Kitab al-Aql, the book of fucking reason. You got a book that, okay, so the whole thing is maybe 8 or 20 volumes, I don't know. It's many volumes. First volume is reason. The first volume is reason. Allah says that if someone goes to heaven, it's through their reason. If someone goes to hell, it's through their reason. When he created reason, that's basically what he said. He said, look at this thing I've created, oh angels. Angels are like, whoa, that's pretty cool. What is it though? He's like, it's the most valuable thing I've created. Reason. If someone goes to hell, it's through reason. Someone goes to heaven through reason. Now, I'll even go further, and I'll tell you one of the weird stories that you're going to roll your eyes at. One day, Archangel Gabriel, peace be upon him, was tasked with God to descend to the terrestrial domain and present 3 things to Adam. Oh yeah, fucking cigar, eh? See, I'm coughing right now, and I'm going to smoke a cigar, and I'll stop coughing. You'll be like, what kind of madness is that? I don't know. Madness? This is reality. Listen, guys, it's good for you. It's like working out your muscles, eh? From the perspective of the poison. Not to mention the flavor, the sedation, all this kind of stuff. If people smoke cigars, there would be no crack pipes ever, anywhere. There's a reason it makes you look distinguished. Because it is distinguished. It's what we should be doing. God loves smokers, I think, if you smoke cigars. Hey, listen, Schwartzy, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a little seed, like a, and you don't think this is good? It's got all kinds of good stuff in it. People are like, well, the guy's running around town like a maniac, essentially. Textbook definition, right? Oh man, it's not gonna happen, eh? It's like the law of opposites. The thing you want the most in life, you know what, evades you. And here's the thing, I finally understood the corollary to that is that you got to keep at it. You got to keep at it. Now, I had this cigar and a couple of others on my person yesterday, and I was running around town like a madman. I met a couple of street characters, like my buddy who's a meth addict and the drunkard. I might as well say so. If he's an alcoholic, I mean, he's not a drunkard though. He's actually a Muslim Canuck. He's a very fucking intense guy. He's actually at a level that majority of Muslims, including Shias, can't even imagine, let alone apply and live. See? I'm like playing with reality. I'm trying to like boss around the law of opposites. I'm saying like, no man, I'm gonna make this thing work. It's not. If I'm not meant to smoke this, it's not ever gonna work. And yes, I got fucking fuel to refill this thing. And yes, I've been refilling it. And God is great, because as soon as I propped him, there's my lighter. I'll be right back. So yeah. So one day, Archangel Gabriel was tasked with basically very strange task. Here's reason, and here is religion, and here is modesty or shame. These three entities or creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal were tasked by their creator into the hands of another one of his creatures, which was the angel Gabriel, the Archangel Gabriel. You know, Ahl al-Wahi, the trusted custodian of Allah's messages vis-a-vis the Quran. Vis-a-vis the Quran, is what I'm trying to say is this. Gabriel, according to Shias, he basically was the person who used to rock Imam Hussein's cradle, right? Or he used to sew clothes, appear as like Lady Fatima was invited to a wedding, peace and blessings of Allah be upon her, and she didn't have clothes, and Gabriel came in human form, and it was his honor to be her tailor, eh guys? So, hey, take these three things to Adam and let him choose one of them, said God. Let him choose one of them. Adam, said Gabriel, peace be upon him, after pleasantries were exchanged, I imagine. Here's reason. This is modesty, and this is religion. You have a choice to choose one of these three things. Guess which one he chose. Religion meaning faith. The one area I disagree with Harris is faith. He can talk about end of religions, but he mustn't talk about end of faith, because you have faith innately as a human. I've explained it a lot of times in different places and videos and shit. I won't go into it right now. Here's an interesting thing that happened. It was very cool. And I'm gonna fucking hit this goddamn stop button as soon as I said this, alright? So here's the thing, I'm poised, because I'm a security officer, and I train myself like an army man, basically. I got a buddy in the army, and basically that's all that is. And when I talk about buddy, he's a good buddy of mine, and he's a warrant officer, and he's the real fucking deal. I'm talking about 50-pound backpacks, 50 miles, basically every day for 1 week kind of thing. So, guys, Adam chose reason. Angel Gabriel was like, so be it. He ascended, he was going to ascend back into the sky. However, and he told modesty and faith to come with him. You know what they said to him? They didn't, because they still hanging around with Adam. This is a saying of a story of Imam Sadiq's, Jafar Sadiq. Now, Angel Gabriel, knowing the way Allah works, didn't get mad or nothing. He's like, what's the deal? You know what they said to him? They said modesty. So Adam had chosen reason, and modesty and faith said to Gabriel, we've been commanded by our Lord to stay with reason wherever it is. What do you think about that? So faith is reasonable. That should be my next fucking project, to figure out what that means. That means faith is based on reason. That would be the ultimate, eh? Cool. Intellectual coup. I'd have another book carrying around like my No God Delusion. I've been carrying it around for like 5 years. I just can't be bothered. I sent it to hundreds of agents and publishers and and they all told me to fuck off, apart from a few. And the ones that like, I got replies like, oh, well, we believe in the God Delusion. That's why we're not going to publish your book. And I'm thinking, you're so stupid. Are you actually an objective publisher, or are you just like a scumsucker like the rest of us? That's a reason for you to publish it. Like, you're not judging it based on its merit. You're judging it, and you're confessing this to me, and also you're proud of it. I was like, bitch, see you on Oprah one day, eh? Oprah launches careers, by the way. Oprah launched the career of Jorge Cruz. Oh, by the way, here's a cool prop. Go read the 3-Hour Workweek, eh? No, 3-Hour Diet, sorry. I'm like thinking Tim Ferriss. Go read the 3-Hour Diet, eh? And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.